My name is Vince Leeson. Yes, my family, will stick mostly to my paternal side. My family is Northern European heritage. My family is from England, with some Irish, I believe. We came to this country probably 1860s or so. I have a relative that was in the Civil War, or my father was a physician. He went to medical school at Thomas Jefferson University, graduated in 1955. His father was a physician. He graduated from Thomas Jefferson University class of 1918. He had a brother that was a physician that graduated with him from the same university. During the Great Depression, the two brothers were struggling to survive in west central Wisconsin, and they flipped a coin to see who would move to a new location. And my father's uncle Charlie lost and relocated to Sturgeon Bay, where he set up a successful practice. He eventually ended up in the U.S. Army Reserves, and as a result, he was called up for World War II, and he was a POW from the Corregidor Bataan Death March. Where he did actually survive it, and he returned home in 1945. My grandfather practiced medicine and osteo for 40 years, basically his whole adult life. And he passed away in 1956. The from that, so that is the two of the three brothers in the family. A generation before that, my great grandfather was a barber in Blair, Wisconsin, until he decided one day that he was going to go to medical school. So the three boys, he and his two sons, actually went to go to medical school at Thomas Jefferson University, and he actually ended up leaving medical school and going to dental school at the University of Marquette. And he lived, I believe, in Milwaukee, and he had a summer home on Washington Island, Wisconsin. That is my family dating back to about 1915 or so. On my mother's side, I'm less certain of my mother's side. I know she is of 100% Irish descent. Her family came over, I believe, during the 1880s, like in the mass immigrations from Ireland to the United States. Her father was a police officer in Philadelphia for about 35 years. He was a literal beat cop. He would, walk the streets with and make sure everybody was doing what they're supposed to, I guess. My grandmother was a nurse, and she worked at she was the nurse for a large department store in the Philadelphia area. And my mother had a sister who moved to California in the 1960s and set up a life out there in Southern California, in Orange County, actually.
My name is Mark Richard Marnaka. My father is from Czech Polish descendants. As I understand it, the great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather had immigrated through Milwaukee, and they had settled out in a farm on the plains, which did not work out. Eventually, the family ended up in the Seymour, Wisconsin area. My great uncle, his family has run a funeral home in Pulaski for many years. It's still much respected. My mother her family is originally from Cornwall, which is off the English Channel in the south of Britain. And Rumor has it that she had a great uncle who might have been a pirate or else might have simply sailed a ship under one of the certificates of the king. But at any rate, she comes from that area, and the George family still has roots there. Her family had settled in Wisconsin Rapids, and is a rather obscure family. I don't know much exactly about how they came here, but very British, and she certainly was in her own way. I have a younger sister who lives in Grand Marais and is very active in diverse interests. She's kind of a Renaissance person of the age. 3 children ranging in age from late 30s to mid 40s. Son Sean is retail management. Daughter Ivy is a integrative practitioner, nurse practitioner, and she has 2 children. Older son Jesse has 2 children. Son Sean has a daughter Ella, who is 4 years old, and is sort of the magic princess of the family for now. That's a flexible job description depending on the age of grandchildren. And let me see, other specifics. Yeah, my sister has 3 children and multiple grandkids also. I think that's the immediate family.
Hello, my name is Suzanne Marnaka. My name before I was married was Suzanne Brown. I am genetically, my family comes from primarily Scotch, Irish, and German. My mother was from an Irish, Scottish family, and maybe some Welsh. And my father's family was mostly British or English, but somewhere in there were Germans too, so Western European. I have a wonderful family. My mother died when I was 15, and so that was 1968. And my dad died when I was an adult. I'm not really exactly sure of the year, but he lived to be 80. My family consists of my sister, who is currently living in California. And then our brother died when he was only 47. He had a brain tumor. His name was Bob. My sister's name's Sharon. And so I am the baby of the family. I have a wonderful husband we've been married almost 47 years this fall. That's about all I know, other than our family history is pretty interesting and we are very close.